Welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we talk about the reason why the SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft was designed. The Crew Dragon, a creation of SpaceX, is a partially reusable spacecraft designed specifically for ferrying astronauts to and from low Earth orbit. Since its inception, the Crew Dragon has carved a remarkable path in human spaceflight history. Boasting a record of 46 launches, it has facilitated numerous critical missions. Not to mention 41 successful dockings with the International Space Station, enabling vital crew rotations, scientific research, and the transportation of essential supplies. Further adding to its impressive resume, the Crew Dragon has achieved 25 capsule reflights, demonstrating its reusability and cost-effectiveness, a significant advancement in the realm of space travel. This exceptional track record underscores the Crew Dragon's position as a reliable and powerful workhorse, propelling humanity's endeavors in low Earth orbit. It is the only spacecraft currently flying that is capable of returning significant amounts of cargo to Earth, and is the first private spacecraft to take humans to the space station. Here are some of its key specifications. With a height of 8.1 meters, which is essentially 27 feet, a diameter of 4 meters, and a spacecraft volume of 9.3 cubic meters, which is basically pressurized space in the capsule. Now that we've covered a few of its specifications, why was the SpaceX Crew Dragon really designed? Well, before Crew Dragon, the US relied heavily on Russia's Soyuz spacecraft for transporting astronauts to the International Space Station. This dependence came with limitations. Firstly, the US had less control over mission schedules, crew selection for ISS missions, and the overall direction of space exploration efforts. Russia's priorities and capabilities dictated launch windows and crew opportunities. Secondly, relying on Soyuz meant paying Russia a significant sum per astronaut seat. Prior to the Crew Dragon's arrival, the U.S. space program relied heavily on Russia's Soyuz spacecraft for transporting astronauts to the International Space Station. This reliance came at a significant financial cost, impacting the number of U.S. astronauts who could participate in space missions. The cost per astronaut seat on a Soyuz spacecraft has been steadily increasing over the years. Here's a breakdown. The initial agreement between NASA and Russia for Soyuz seats started at approximately $21 million per seat. In 2011, after the retirement of the Space Shuttle program, NASA's dependence on Soyuz increased, driving the price per seat up to roughly $70 million. By 2019, the cost had escalated to a staggering $90 million per seat, reflecting Russia's leverage and limited launch alternatives for the US. Moving beyond the costs, another limitation that followed this dependence on foreign spacecraft is that this dependence restricted the US's ability to pursue specific research agendas or technological advancements on the ISS. Now, this is where the Crew Dragon comes in. The Crew Dragon was developed to break free from these limitations. With Crew Dragon, the US regained complete control over astronaut transportation to low Earth orbit. This allows for greater flexibility in mission planning, launching missions based on US priorities, and selecting astronauts based on merit and experience. Another reason behind the Crew Dragon's design is that SpaceX prioritized astronaut safety throughout the Crew Dragon's design. The spacecraft features a robust ECLSS, which is environmental control and life support system that provides a breathable atmosphere, regulates temperature and humidity, and manages waste disposal during missions. The ECLSS comes in certain parts of the Crew Dragon. The first is the nose cone. While not directly part of the ECLSS, the nose cone protects the forward section of the capsule during ascent. Next is the pressure section. This is the heart of the Crew Dragon, housing the crew cabin and the majority of the ECLSS equipment. Lastly, the service section. Located at the rear of the capsule, the service section houses equipment that indirectly supports the ECLSS, such as power providers to the ECLSS systems through batteries and solar arrays, and may contain additional water supplies or tanks for waste storage. This ensures crew comfort and well-being throughout the journey. Moving deeper into the topic of safety, the return journey from space isn't a smooth ride. The Crew Dragon faces a scorching re-entry into Earth's atmosphere, where temperatures on the spacecraft's exterior can reach a blistering 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's a closer look at the Crew Dragon's heat shielding and re-entry control measures that ensure a safe splashdown for the astronauts. The Pika X Heat Shield. This is the Crew Dragon's first line of defense against the scorching heat of re-entry. Pika-X stands for phenolic impregnated carbon ablator. It's a special type of heat shield material composed of a phenolic resin embedded with carbon fibers. As the Crew Dragon streaks through the atmosphere, the Pika-X ablates, meaning it slowly vaporizes and carries away heat generated by friction with the air molecules. This sacrificial process protects the capsule's underlying structure from the extreme temperatures. The Pika-X heat shield isn't a single layer. It's a multi-layered composite structure, which comprises of the backshell, the main seal, and the heat shield itself. Each layer has a slightly different composition, optimized to perform at various altitudes and heat loads during re-entry. The outermost layer bears the brunt of the initial heat, while the inner layers provide progressive thermal insulation as the spacecraft descends. Throughout re-entry, the Crew Dragon's onboard systems constantly monitor the heat shield's performance. After a successful re-entry, the Crew Dragon descends through the lower atmosphere and deploys its drogue and main parachutes to slow its descent further. Finally, the capsule makes a controlled splashdown in the Atlantic Ocean, just off the coast of Florida. Recovery teams are on standby to locate and retrieve the capsule, ensuring the safe return of the astronauts. With this whole process, SpaceX demonstrates just how much safety is a top priority. And lastly, another very important reason why SpaceX developed the Dragon spacecraft is due to the fact that SpaceX needed a spacecraft that could carry a huge capacity of payload and also be able to return payload back to Earth. The Crew Dragon's carrying capacity is a crucial factor in its role as a workhorse for low Earth orbit missions. While astronaut safety is paramount, the amount of cargo it can deliver plays a vital role in supporting the International Space Station and future space endeavors. With a launch payload mass of 6,000 kilograms, the Crew Dragon can ferry a substantial amount of supplies, equipment, and even scientific experiments to the orbiting outpost. This capability is essential for sustaining the crew, conducting vital research in microgravity, and maintaining the functionality of the ISS. However, the story doesn't end there. The Crew Dragon's impressive reusability extends to its return capabilities. Boasting a return payload mass of 3,000 kilograms, it can bring back valuable scientific data, experiment results, or even outdated equipment in need of repair or decommissioning. This two-way transportation capability is a significant advantage. It allows for the efficient exchange of materials between Earth and the ISS, fostering a continuous cycle of research, resupply, and scientific discovery. In simpler terms, the Crew Dragon isn't just a taxi for astronauts. It's a vital cargo vessel playing a critical role in the ongoing mission of the ISS and paving the way for future space exploration efforts. The Crew Dragon spacecraft is an important spacecraft, which SpaceX realized they absolutely needed if they ever wanted to revolutionize space travel and improve on ISS resupply missions. And so far, they have proved that developing the spacecraft was definitely a wise choice. And that's all we have for now. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.